Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack Open here, featuring Fortnite today. $250,000 on the line. What just concluded was Game 5, so you're watching some of the highlights of the competition throughout the course of the day here unfold. It's been quite the day, quite a big game for Benji Fishy. I just checked out social media, saw the man tweeting out some exciting vibes, so he's feeling pretty good getting back into the swing of it, especially after a disappointing Heat's kind of follow-up, right, leading into today. But there's a couple of big players, big faces, big names making a statement here. It's Teak, it's Sebi, it's Mr. Savage who's holding first place Fallout.
Yeah, it's a great call. Let's set the stage a little bit as we're going into our last 3 games. We got to make sure we can do it justice as we gear up, because it's going to come down to the wire here. It's a matter of who can perform the best when it matters the most. Right now, Mr. Savage, first place with 262 points. Right behind him is Teak, someone that's kind of shocked us a little bit. Barely qualified into this tournament. He got 250th place in Heat 2, I believe, on Friday. So he almost was not even in this position. But now he's been showing up when it matters. 259 points. Take a look at the standings after that. Sebi, Kami, someone who did not have the best start or in his first couple matches, but yeah, ever since then, he's really played incredibly well, and that took a first place finish, 11th with 2 eliminations. Some good consistency coming through from Kami throughout, and of course, a Nas to round out our top 5. Those are the 5 to keep a key eye on here in this next match. But then we still have people like Castery, Benji Fishy, who've been trending upwards, who've been lurking quite a bit into that top 20.
And I was just going to take note there that the cutoff point right now for top 20 is 147 points. So keep that in mind as we're jumping perspective to see who's really relevant. Players that are in that 100-point threshold plus right now are in contention. We talk about what the prizing means. Breaking top 30 is kind of your bare minimum that you want to do in this competition. Of course, you want first place. Of course, you want to bring home all the jewels and ice. But hey, the money really starts to pop up after that top 30. So that's kind of what's on the line here, outside of course, taking home the crown today. DreamHack champ.
Yeah. And speaking of jewels, I'd like to go and check out the fight at the Authority if we can. Just at least who's dropping there. If we can just do a little drive by the Authority, because we did have Mongrel drop in there consistently, and then we know Castery drops there consistently. But then we thought we thought Hardfind was there, but he went somewhere else. So I'm not sure what the situation at Authority is as it currently stands. We'll keep a close eye on that fight. But for now, let's kick it off with Lanouf and Sebi. Lanouf, our winner from last game. Sebi currently knocking on the door of top 1.
That's right, 240 points for Sebi, not too shabby. Also considering, look at how close they're landing to one another. So it's no surprise that Lanouf's been struggling throughout the course of the day, considering that Sebi has been on top of his game. We saw him earlier somehow, some way, secure the mythic shockwave before, and this is going to start off really nice for him. Scrib's going to be the first knock for him. Lucky for him to actually avoid not getting taken out by Ocean here, who's the mythic boss.
Yep. And honestly, Scrib in that situation, important to call out. First off, welcome to Mythic Loot. Welcome to the Ocean's Loot, if you are on screen there. But Scrib, I talked about, is trending downwards. That's going to certainly continue that trend as he gets taken out very early here. Big first pickup comes through, and to follow, the boss is going to get taken out. That's probably the easiest boss fight I've ever seen in my life, as you now have Ocean's Loot, both the Bottomless Chug as well as the Burst AR.
There's a little drive-by to the caddy's corner, give you guys an idea of what's unfolding here. Remember, Link is the one who's king of the weather station up above, and we have Kiko, who's landing just outside of this. So he's probably that turquoise arrow you see on the map right there. But it's a 4-way fight for caddy's corner. So Telly posed a really great question earlier today. It was, why have we not seen more of the shockwave towards the end game? It's how many people are fighting for it here. And just as I talk about Link being the king of the weather station, he's actually down here into the thick of it, doing things a little different this time around. I'm assuming it's Rocky who's behind him, but either way, Chapix, you can see this is what they have to deal with. All these players having to, struggle to gather this loot here. The shockwave launcher is going to allow Chapix, though, to get out of here, Fallout.
This is perfect. He's going to get the shockwave launcher. Did not pick up the shotgun, I don't believe.
Oh,
and he's going to get taken out by Letwick, so he rotates straight into Letwick. And guess what? Letwick, who's trending upwards after a second-place finish last game, he finished with the shockwave launcher. This time he starts with it. The question is, can he hold on to it, as the Noof is now still fighting over here, looking to see what he can do against Sebi in this early fight at Fortilla.
That is huge for Letwick right there, picking up the shockwave launcher. Basically, a nice little pizza delivery brought to the front door right there. He's going to be eating well for lunch today. And this is looking like a good game for him to finally swing back into the thick of things. The person who has also swung back in it, like we said, on the bubble here, Lanouf for top 20. He's going up against the Septos, who's also in that same bubble bracket. The Fortilla housing some of the scariest, players in this actual tournament. I see Bad Sniper, Lanoof, Deceptos. We know Sebi's here, all of which are doing like pretty good. I don't know how 4 players are managing to stay relevant in the competition, all sharing the same drop spot. That's just giving you guys the strength behind some of these mythic drop spots, how much loot there is to be had here.
That's exactly right. It is the House of Monsters. Whenever you decide to go towards one of our 3 mythic POIs in Authority and Fortilla and in Caddy's Corner, Lanoof right now and PNK in the last 2 fights. It looks like Sebi, who dropped here, I believe, got himself the Ocean's loot and said, I'm out of here. Unless he got taken out, I don't think so. But right now, 1 versus 1 PNK versus Lanoof. This is a big one. Lanoof needs this fight to keep on trending the way he was after a big last game. But it looks like a third party is nearby.
Good on him to turn around there and put a little ramp down. Yes, he's going to catch it as well. Nice cone control as well. He's going to be able to open that. Quick peanut butter edit right there. And all of a sudden now things are going in his favor. He's got the bot to back him up too. It's like one of the henchmen there. Just so happened to be in the right place at the right time for him. And,
can you imagine the bot, the henchman
so
takes his elim? You know, he gets the 1 shot and then gets the elim instead. Oh, man, that's comedy. It looks like he did have a little bit of some teamwork there. It was a 2 versus 1 box fight with the henchman helping out and supporting. Meanwhile, Mr. J, we'll see how lucky he is. Right now, just trying to get rid of every piece of cover here, force the drop, and there you have it. Here comes the fight.
Oh, but the shield was cracked right there. Okay, the 99, just as the big pot goes off, he lands the big 99 to burst open the shield. So well played for him. He's going to go into the box, though, with the harpoon.
Wow.
Mr. J nearly taken out, possibly saved by the fact that he got the heals to pop off at the right moment there. This is all, of course, unfolding just outside of Sweaty Sands. Going back to another location just outside of Sweaty Sands as well.
Yeah.
Is that boat that Mr. Savage plays?
And it's a rematch here between him and Breeze. So Mr. Savage versus Breeze, round 2. The boxing fight continues here. Mr. Savage had him with a total KO in the last fight. We'll see who gets the upper hand in this one. This is crucial. Again, if Breeze wins this, Mr. Savage, first place, goodbye.
You say round 2, but I'm thinking more like round 6. I got a feeling this has been the same song and dance over and over here at this northern portion of the boat. There it is, Mr. Savage.
Having his way, huh?
Yeah, he's just getting it, man. Just feeding points off right here. Breeze is essentially cushioning his lead at the top right now.
Yeah, it almost feels like a heavyweight champion going up against a middle schooler. It seems like Mr. Savage is just having his way in those fights. Again, we've only caught a few of them, but good start so far for Mr. Savage. He might hop in that boat for a rotation here, but wants to clean up any final loot that he can before he leaves. Looks like he's not going to take the sniper here. He's going to opt for whatever comes out, maybe some floppers out of this fishing expedition. Another sniper, right. Not what he wanted.
Not quite. Here goes some of the floppers, though. At least he's going to be able to get one. Noah, though, making a nice little rotate. Remember, we saw him just north of Caddy's Corner. He was playing the Caddy spot. It didn't go in his favor. You can see the loot that he managed to pull from there is not much. As we do know, Letwick got the Shockwave launcher. I'm wondering if Letwick doubled back, though, to open up the Volt there, unless the Volt card wasn't grabbed in time. But Letwick does have that Shockwave launcher. It looks like he's tearing things up right now because he's kind of built up here. Oh, no, it's because he's fighting against the pack of Marauders. Okay, makes more sense now.
I just got to take a moment to give a massive, well-deserved shout out to the Fortnite Reddit community. Competitive Fortnite community on Reddit, putting together some great intel, as always, of where drop spots are going to be, and all sorts of great discussions always happening there. Make sure to check out the Fortnite Reddit community if you ever want to keep up with all things competitive Fortnite. Meanwhile, on board with Noah right now. Oh, there you go. That's
here it is.
That's a shock wave launcher as a result. That's huge for Noah.
My gosh, seeing the Shockwave change hands now means that Letwick, who was granted a blessing at the start of this game, he thought it was going to be the beginning of greatness for him to actually pull away a free end game, is going to change hands here.
That might answer Kelly's question. You know, we're getting to see what's going on over there. Shout out to our observers for catching a lot of that action. But the Shockwave's just changing hands so many times. I think maybe it's just getting kind of left in the wind in so many of these exchanges. I think, you know, as people are realizing how important the Shockwave launcher is for late game meta and for success, you're seeing a lot more people play with a little bit of aggression in that area, dropping in that area. And that's why you see so many more people dropping in the south of the map versus the north.
And that does play into the story of why, like I said at the start of the show, it's potentially a reason why Savage is doing so successful in the competition. He's winning his drop spot and he's on the least congested portion of the map, giving him, granting him better rotates. Granted as well,
exactly.
This is about the first time that we finally see an actual North Pole zone Up until now, it's been nothing but eastern zones and pretty south pools. Anasto, one of our more exciting players who's in the money for top positioning here. He's going to find Bad Sniper with a hefty burst shot. I think it had to be headshots. Yes, considering how much HP there was left on that player. Bad Sniper doesn't have anything left. Crashpad's not going to be able to open up the box just yet, but he's looking to get into it. He's going to heal for safety measure now.
And I didn't see where the next circle is going, but it might be quite the rotation they're going to have to make after this. Of course, he's a crash pad to do so if he wants to, but Anas with the upper hand for sure right now, as it doesn't look like Bad Sniper has any shields. Not sure if Anas knows that, but it's going to be Bad Sniper's health just taken away, and the Shark's going to enter the fight here, taking out all the builds of Bad Sniper, as we see Anas get some help this time in the form of a Sharky Shark.
It happened again right there. He's going to crash pad him out of the box and just like that be able to come up on all the loot. That was a concerning fight considering he did not have any white heals to stay in the zone. Yeah. Like we said, we're talking about where's the zone going to pull. Check this out. It's going northwest for once. This is the first here out of the 6 games we've covered, none of which have gotten this far here. I was going to say, wait a second, ADN. Are you there? Hello? Yeah. Answer the phone.
I just got to say, poor Rotary. 2 games in a row now. He's gotten taken out with really nothing he could have done about it. Right there, ADN with all the patience in the world. Last game, he got headshotted, 1 dinked, and done. Rotary out of this one. Unfortunate for him.
We're going to call him R Omega Lol Terry, okay? So unfortunate for him, though. Like you said, man. Not being able to put up a defense, not being able to really show your worth here. Just cheeky plays, man. Sniper, now an ambush.
Exactly. Cheeky plays exist. That's why you just got to be very, very cautious. You're seeing players now check a lot more. It seems like that sneaky man type of meta is very, very evident now in current Fortnite. People are starting to understand that and are checking corners and things like that. But of course, can't always be perfect.
Anasto's going to find a couple crash pads. Okay.
Oh, look who he's going up against, though. It's Sebi, who has all of Ocean's loot. If this fight happens, Anas could have it. He's going to see it. Anas could have a big turn of events.
Oh my gosh.
Good tags on Sebi. Not as many as he would have wanted, though.
Now, guys, keep in mind what the weight of this battle means. You're talking your 2 players in top 3 here going against one another. Yes, Sebi's going to look for the disengage. No, he's going to get tagged so much. He's going to be forced to heal here. Yes, he has to. There's no way he's going to be able to pop these 15-second infinite chug splash here. Sebi would have been better off to break the crash pads before healing, though. We'll see how now he's given free access to Anas to push up. Sebi with a cheeky hold on the wall, though, is going to find a shot there to put the pressure back onto Anas. And now he's in the lead of the battle here. But of course, he doesn't want to stick around to find out what can happen here. He wants to heal.
That's exactly right. And this is crucial, as Monster said, and the overall implications of things. Top 4 fighting at it and duking right now for 2 Oceans weapons as well. Only 12 builds left for Anas.
Oh, no.
Needs to be careful. And it looks like Anas has the upper hand as it currently stands. Sebi is alive on a dream right now. Thank goodness for some extra minis that he has. But you got to think Anas has a clear advantage here.
Oh, the storm's going to take it over. No, Sebi has to go in, and that is the reason he's going to fall here. Sebi gets taken out. The storm just snuck up on them. Oh, wow. Such a bummer.
Unfortunate for Sebi. A blessing for Anas, who continues to play so well in this game.
Wow.
He is currently controlling his own destiny. Now he has Ocean's weapons. But look at the sneaky push coming through from Bafo. Bafo's going to connect for 1, connect for 3. One more shot, and you're done, Pepper. You're out of here. Looks like Bafo's trying to close it out, but I think it was Mr. Savage that I saw nearby as well. Am I making that up?
No, Mr. Savage was there. Pepper doesn't have any HP, though. Bafo's has been having quite the tough day. He's going to find himself a nice little pick here. But I'm still trying to get over the fact that Sebi, who was so close to first place, just got taken out, put the brakes on him. I mean, we've seen it happen to everyone in the top contenders so far today. Anas was taken out in one of the games. Savage was stopped as well. And now finally we see Sebi get put on hold this time around. So the top of the leaderboards is going to be that much closer now. And it's really up to Savage and Anas to stay alive here to see who's going to maintain lead.
And that's one of our 5 Titans, as we'll call them right now, with a significant advantage. It's Kami in 5th place with 222, Anas, then Sebi, Teak, and Mr. Savage, the largest of all Titans. 1 of 5 falls, as now Anas is looking to take his way into at least 3rd place. The thing is, though, Teak and Mr. Savage both still alive, I believe, in top 2. So the ones you got to be gunning for are still in it to win it.
Here it is. Let's go ahead and see, though. I like that you mentioned that, too. The fact that Teak is still in the running, correct. Let's watch though. Things are a bit settling here. The dust is settling right now. Ganchetto is kind of hanging out right now.
This is
gathering info.
Exactly. This is that roller coaster analogy we mentioned. You know, in competitive Fortnite, you typically are on a roller coaster throughout from a spectating and gameplay experience. It starts with a little bit of a drop, you know, nothing crazy, but you see some early game fights, you see some good rotational fights, then things slow down for a little bit in this mid game, as we're seeing right now. Then it picks up again as people are rotating and converge, as edge fighters will fight each other. Then it slows down right before the final crazy drop, which is the end game, as we're used to seeing with half and half, then moving to rotating circles.
That's right here. I see Tayson still alive in this game right now. Remember, Tayson was just around that top 20. He's on the bubble for breaking into top 10. Someone that we want to keep an eye on. Someone who is in the top 20. That was Toos. Gambit's Toos right here. 150 points. Remember that cutoff for top 20 right now was 147 points here. It's Lanoof, though, who wants to break into top 20. If there's any way to do it, it's to march through your opponents that are up there and put them on pause here. As Toos versus Lanoof here is going to go for the full-on 50-50. It looks like it's going into Lanoof's favor right now, as both of which are going to get tagged. And now Toos is getting third-party by an opponent. Great usage of the flopper there. This is why it's so powerful in these kind of situations. And yes, he's going to be able to manage to pick off Lanoof there as he lets his guard down. Big frag for him.
That's exactly right. Meanwhile, Anas with Ocean's loot as a result, or as a spoil to the value. But look at that. Can you believe it? It's Wolfies with a headshot on. That's crucial on Anas. So there you have it. Our second of our 5 Titans fall. And it's to the hands of Wolfies this time.
Wolfie quite literally griefing right now. Wolfies, cut it out. Why would you snipe the guy in top 5 when you're like in top 30? This is so unfortunate right now. Wolfie's really putting a stop here. And it looks like the Chug Splash is going to be able to get into his inventory here. Oh, man. So Anas goes down. We've already seen Sebi getting taken out. Now it's a matter of Teak versus Mr. Savage for first place here up towards the top.
And Chili was able to sneak away with the burst AR. So the mythic burst assault rifle from Ocean's loot is now going to be in the hands of Chili. Wolfie's like, hey, that's mine. I want it back. He's going to be pushing here. We'll see if he decides to take the fight or has a chance to take the fight.
Oh, man. This is a little upsetting. I'm not going to lie. I feel so bad for players that are just like, they're there. They're just there. But you got to understand that Mr. Savage is feeling really good about the fact that these players are getting taken out. Remember, this is toughest competition right now. So if anyone in the top 5 goes down, especially if you're the champion in this situation, you're happy. You're very happy. You want to continue to create that buffer. You had it before, the 50-point lead, the 60-point lead, but it was given up.
Yeah. You gotta feel for Anas. Nice top 20 player in Europe from Denmark, but it was playing so well, had great loot, and was in a really good position here to Drake in the top 2, maybe even top 1 if he could have taken out Mr. Savage, but instead he gets taken out by the hands of Wolfies. It was a good play though from Wolfies, great shot. As we know, Anas is a great solo player, has won contender solo cash cups in the past, top 3 consistently, but instead it was Wolfies this time around. Meanwhile, we're on board with Castry.
Man, I'm so proud of Castry, a player that we were down talking coming into grand finals because he hasn't done it yet, but today, this competition really has been going so well for him, as did the opens. Remember, the comparison was, how will Mongrel do? How will Castry do? Finally, another time we put them in grand settings or grand final setting. Castry's really stepped up to the plate this time, not falling to the statistic, which normally he's on the other side of. So both played so far. A big name I see here, though, Deceptos is still alive in this game. I'm just wondering if Mr. Savage's hit list will continue to fall here because it's becoming closer and closer to the wire here. I haven't seen Teak's name yet on the flybys, so I don't know.
It's a good analogy. He really is kind of like a hitman the way he's been playing here. I'd like to see his total limb count. I'm going to try and look that up if I can, but he must have quite a few limbs. I don't know who has the highest amount of limbs so far, but we've definitely seen some aggressive gameplay come through from the likes of Mr. Savage and others. Meanwhile, Daco currently sitting high ground. Ooh, one shot, and Licen's out of here. Nice pick. Quick pick for Daco.
That is true. Here's Daco, though, like we said, looking to continue to swing his way up. He's doing a good job of it. He's really trending in the right direction right now. 114, just a few points away from breaking into the top 20 to finally seeing his name back on that leaderboard here. He had a little bit of a presence before.
Surprised he's not going for that loot. I think he thinks that there's more people nearby. Again, he doesn't have the intel that we have. But maybe could have snuck that loot really quickly and then gotten right back to safety, but instead decided not to. We'll see if it costs him. Only 62 builds to his name. Not a whole lot for Daco as he's going to enter a fight instead. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to get my loot from this fight if he can.
That's right. Don't need the builds, and you can force this player to get into your area. That's right. He's going to find another tag here. That's a big one. That's going to be the shield crack, the white tag on to back him up. And yes, he's trying to pick his way through here. He does set up the boost too. And yes, the tactical shotgun's going to find its mark here. Once again, Poda is on the receiving end of the barrel. A few times we've casted that today. Yesterday, Poda side was, you know, one of the few actually putting up some highlights for us.
Yep.
Today, that's not the case.
Yeah, it was kind of a standout, and this time it seems like every time we're watching him, he's getting taken out. It's just unfortunate for Poda State. Not the best day for him. Maybe not the best luck, if you will, but at the end of the day, you got third party there. Castry picks up in a limb at the top left of your screen, so keep an eye on that. We keep talking about that story developing. It's not done yet. Castry continues to roll.
One of your old DreamHack champs there. Moraine's still in the running here. He's been just outside the top 20 and a few times into the top 15 today. Okay, the rotations are happening now. Half and half out revealed itself. Full Eastern rotate. Everyone has to cut all the way across here. Popo, 103 points right now, looking to continue to solidify himself. He manages to find his way to half in, half out. It's 50 players in the lobby, ladies and gents. That's a lot of Fortnite gamers, a lot of sweaty pros here stacked on top of one another. One of the more congested ones we've seen. Casper's gonna fall there though, fall out.
Yes, he is. Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Ryan and Wolf are nearby. So, and of course, some people above them as well. I think Wolf might be popping that oceanless, bottomless chug jug right now as it currently stands. And should be able to do so with success. We'll see.
He was looking to heal there. Moraine didn't hear it though. Had he did, this would have been a free frag for him. Remember, Wolfies is the one who just took out Anas here. If you're tuning in late, guys, this is game 6. We're approaching that end game here in the DreamHack Opens. It's grand finals day, so everything is on the line. Only 8 games in total competition, so this is it. These are our potential winners. You're looking at your next DreamHack champion. The first solo competition with this new loot pool and map. So quite a big tournament, quite a big deal right now. This is what we're going to be looking at when it comes into leading into FNCS Grand Finals as well. So a lot to be said here about how you play and how far you've made it in the EU scene.
That's right. Yeah, Medine representing the Netherlands. I'm a big fan of the Netherlands. Meanwhile, he's going to pick up a nice elimination.
It's on Wolfies.
And hopefully, he must have eaten his stroopwafels this morning. As a nice pickup is going to be taken out there from Marine. Meanwhile, on board a Benji Fishy, Marine's going to get Ocean's Bottomless Chug Jug after taking out Wolfies. That's pretty big for him.
And yes, finally
and he also
now
has
Teak.
the Burst AR.
Teak reveals himself. He finally reveals himself. So Teak is still in the game right now. That was one of the big names that we know is breaking out for top positioning right now in this competition. So Teak can very well still be in this. Benji Fishy, though, we're looking at his perspective right now, who's turning up the field here. Honestly, you can see that he's already caught in a few frags this game here. Looking for another box fight in this mid game right now. Not that he needs the loot, but it would be nice to catch a full-on frag here. A big impact.
Yeah, Marine recognizing he can take some storm damage because he does have the chug. He's going to be back to full. Now he has to edit his way back in storm. Should do so with ease. Well done. Meanwhile, Benji on screen as well. At the bottom right, we got a picture-in-picture. Marine and Benji. Benji gets a good first shot in. Marine doing what he can from up top. It's Teak. Still in this. If he could have taken out Teak there, that would have been huge, as we're now on board with Marine. 3 eliminations to his name. 22 people remain in this lobby.
He's playing really, really well right now, too. Good rotates here. He's going to be forced to pop a mini here as he wants to continue to stay in the game. Teak looking to break his way into top 20. Will Moraine be the one that throws him out of the comp, though? We'll find out here as we're jumping back in. And yes, he's going to find someone in the bush. I'm not sure if it was him or not. No, is Teak still alive here? But Moraine is tearing up. He is just a few eliminations away from breaking back into top 20. Benji Fishy, on the other hand, though, is in a box fight here just outside the building. All wood builds. None of them are his. He's going to have to break out, I think.
I believe this is Medine right underneath Benji here. So Benji might have a flank opportunity. We might see some picture-in-picture action as Jorberry's going to get taken out by the hands of Medine. And now 20 builds left, making 19 for Medine. Teak right below him with only 55 HP to his name. Benji's going to catch one. That's going to be Teak. That's a big elimination. And guess what? We talked about Benji's trending upwards and he continues to go here, wants this to live, doesn't want to lose it to the storm. He's going to get it. Benji continues to roll. He's controlling his own fate, and he's trying to secure a top 10 placement.
Great edits here, even against the pressure of the storm right now. Benji staying in the game, breaking nearly to top 10 now. It's getting closer and closer. He finally cut that 200+ point threshold. Top 10 hits in. Look at Moraine up on height. He's playing that mid ground right now, as is Benji. So they're just similar layers. Moraine's finally gonna hop on down now, focusing his way outside of the edge here. No more material from Moraine. He's gonna go into the cone. Now with Benji's perspective though, box fight going down, still looking for the edits. He doesn't care. He's gonna break the cone as well. His final build's gonna be put to use here. No, he gets hit with the big shot and taken out, but Moraine still turning up. 180 points for him now. He's still in the competition. Could he re-solidify himself as the DreamHack champ? Who knows? 2 more big games in front. If he continues on this tear, he will be up there, Fallout.
Such a great showing, but guess what? It is Tayson who is still alive with high ground. 3 players remain. I believe Noah is the 3rd. Yes, it is with ultimate high ground. Tayson says, I'm going to do something about that, trying to outbuild him. All Medine can do is sit and wait for that fight to break down and hopefully secure a 2nd place finish. He is content. Yes. But no, it's actually going to be Tayson that decides to go towards low ground. Medine takes him out. It is now a 1 versus 1. Medine versus Noah for the win.
All right, 196 points here. This is the opportunity now to break for 200. Noah, who's sitting up top, must be so nervous here. He didn't even take the chance to heal. And Moraine's going to play the zone here. He's actually going to piece control it as well and walks right in and walks through Noah for the final moments.
Beautiful shot coming through from Medine, and that's going to be a victory royale. What a finish. We're going to jump to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be dissecting it all with Kelly.
What's up, guys? Monster D-Face here with the DreamHack Open, and today we are going to be looking at some music and giving you guys a rating. So stay tuned.
Look this way, look at me now. Look, man, I was searching for a better way, praying, hoping for a better day. Never quit, never hesitate. If it's a will, it's gotta be a way. Working fast food on the weekends, got a second job just to meet ends. Never quit though, I admit at times life seen a BMP. Hey, look this way, look at me now. Hey, look this way, look at me now. Hey, look this way, look at me now. Hey, look this way, look at me now.
Dang, man, that one was fire. If that's the kind of songs we're going to be getting, these are going to be hard to rate. I'm going to give that one 5 out of 5. So the bar is set pretty high. I don't know if anything's going to be able to beat that.
I'm walking alone. This is your door. I'm walking alone. I'm going home. I'm walking alone. This is your door. I'm walking alone. Going home. I'm walking alone. This is your door. I'm walking alone. I'm going home. I'm walking alone. This is your door. I'm walking alone. Going home.
I don't know. I kind of like that. I like the country music a little more than that. 2 out of 5. Hey, man, that was kind of groovy, you know. That was kind of groovy. 2.5 out of 5. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. 4 out of 5 for that one. 4 out of 5. Pretty good. And that's going to conclude for my song segment. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more at DreamHack Open.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. It is Grand Finals Day, and we are currently 6 games done in the European Grand Finals. 100 players duking it out for the $250,000 prize pool. And that last game right there, we saw Moraine take the W with 10 eliminations. Really impressive showing there, guys. I believe that actually put him up to 9th place now. Monster, I know that you were saying you were so hyped that entire game. Break it down for me.
Yeah, a big reason is because I'm a huge fan of Moraine. He's really been a part of the competitive scene. He's kind of been underrated, especially ever since he took that championship for DreamHack back in 2019. And like he's always been there, but he's been just outside looking from the outside in. So if we could see him kind of sweep back in and finally now on the main stage, getting his highlights casted over and being showcased, I'm really excited for that. But also just the story that unfolded. Like, let's be honest here. Seeing Teak come up and like snatch the throne from Mr. Savage, that's incredible. That was some serious storylining kind of all meshing there in that final game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I gotta say, you mentioned it a few times, Monster, but Medina is actually the champion of DreamHack Winter, bring your own computer tournament. So if he can do it again, we have Mr. Savage who won in DreamHack Anaheim. We have Medina who won DreamHack Winter featuring Fortnite. I'm excited to see the battle of the champions here, now in top 10. It's a long road ahead for Medina. It's currently at 208 points with Mr. Savage at 298. Teak actually takes first place at 300. We'll break down the standings in a moment, but we'll see if Medina can do it, if he can continue to climb.
Yeah, before we jump into the standings, let's take a look at the highlights. And I know, Monster, you're going to want to have to talk about these because there was some crazy plays going on.
Yeah, just from the start to the end, all kinds of, like I said, storylines meshing back and forth here. We see Snap versus Artur. Artur was tearing things up really in top 20, so he gets shut down early. This is where the Shockwave launcher finally crosses and changes hands. But this fight right here was quite the funny one. We saw Nas with the unfortunate, or the very fortunate help from the Shark at this time. But before he gets sniped here by Wolfies, this is the unfortunate thing I'm talking about. The slow motion Wolfies. When we talk about it, Wolfies, man, Savage had a hit list that game because everyone that was a threat was getting taken out. But unfortunately, we're not able to track down Teak, who makes it all the way through to the tail end. A couple more final moments right here.
And that was a crazy thing too, is we saw it a few times, actually, and a good finish right there from Medina to the last shot. But we saw it a few times where the individual with the mythic items got taken out. We saw it with the Shockwave. We saw it again with Ocean's. Ocean's weapons got actually recycled and reused 3 or 4 times. So again, it's not just whoever gets these weapons dominate. It's really play your game. I think Mr. Savage is proving that. Teak is proving that. Neither of them are dropping in any mythic POIs. They're currently sitting in top 2. Sebi, I believe, is dropping more towards a mythic POI, and Fortilla currently in 3rd, but it was unfortunate he got that flank coming through from Anas.
Yeah, with Moraine taking the victory royale there, let's take a quick look at our top 20 right now to see how they fall after that 6th game. And you guys are correct. Teak now leading first place, 2 points ahead of Mr. Savage, who has been dominating the entire grand finals. And then Sebi, pretty consistent all the way through, but 43 points or 53 points below Mr. Savage. It's going to take a lot for any of the other top 10, top 20 to try and clinch one of these top spots.
But I love how close it is from Teak and Mr. Savage. And what I love most about it is that they're in 2 different games. They're playing 2 different games of Fortnite. Teak's placements, or Teak's points, majority are coming from placements. Mr. Savage points are coming from hefty eliminations. That's because he's fighting Brizzy off spawn every single time. So he's finding those free frags like we talked about. I don't know if Brizz is trying to play Grief, but it's not working here. And then other people that we haven't given enough credit to. Moraine, Benji, Fishy, Deceptos, all in the conversation, all swinging back up. As is Tooth. Yeah. And like, these are guys that are there.
And on that note too, I gotta keep hyping up this story because Benji is trending upwards and continuing that trend. If you stand with Benji, let me hear it in the chat right now. He's trying to say, Mr. Savage, GOAT status goes to me, as NRG's Benji is currently in the top 10, and he's going to continue to go. Crazy thing is, these 2 are teammates in trios alongside Letchi, who we unfortunately don't have a chance to see right now. But man, these 2 are performing incredibly well.
I mean, I know you're saying that Benji's on the uptrend here, but there's an 80-point difference right now from his place in 8th and 1st place right now. Do you think we're going to start seeing some more griefing and focusing on Teak and Mr. Savage in these last 2 games?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. And everyone knows where Mr. Savage is dropping. You know, sometimes you see it happen. I think the European scene generally tends to have a bit of respect for one another's dropping and landing zones. So I don't think we're going to see a whole ton of it. I think it is possible. But I do know if someone sees Teak, if someone sees Mr. Savage, they're getting limbs and they know they spot out their character or their individual, they're going to play a little more aggressive, especially if it's someone like Benji who's currently trending and trying to knock on that top 3.
I want to add to that. I love how you said the EU scene, you know, is respectable, but I'm just getting bad memories from the FNCS Duels competition when Negan and Dillix just held out Mongra and Benji from the competition at Sweaty Sands. So they do have a tendency to also, the history states or shows that, hey, the champs will land on you. They will hold you out. We've seen this happen in the past with even players like Mitro being, kept out of the top of the food chain. So it's a proper strategy. You know where they're playing for? Sometimes you just gotta gun for the guys on top if you want to put them on pause and then take the lead. It just really is a matter of, stepping up to the plate if you want to play for first.
I mean, we did mention it earlier that the difference between 1st place and 2nd place here is $8,000. Whoever's going to be 1st place is going to be walking away with $16,000. And for a weekend of Fortnite, that's pretty good. But before we toss it to a break and get into game number 7, Monster, did you want to look at the map again and go over any of the action that we saw or something that you're going to predict for game number 7?
Yeah, I think Follow had some pretty interesting takeaways from this.
Yeah, let's take a look. So Fortilla, we saw the fight early on. It was actually Scrib, who was in 18th, no longer in the top 20, got taken out early and by the hands of Sebi, I believe it was. And Fortilla got his hands on some Ocean's loot. However, it was actually a Nas all the way from Misty Meadows. I believe he's still dropping in Misty, who on the rotation through, everyone was kind of rotating towards this direction. Anas with a very fast rotation came through, was able to get a big flank pick in a elim here and continued to trend that same direction, continued to pick up another, got a second elim with that Ocean's loot until unfortunately getting taken out by Wolf, as Wolf obviously rotated all the way from Lazy Lake to the same direction where Anas finally ultimately ended up losing some of his loot, his Ocean's loot, and a very unfortunate finish for Anas. Just crazy how fast those rotations came through and how much of a difference that made for Anas.
A really good breakdown there. Like you said, just showing that the cross of paths can happen, and that's all based on the way the zone plays out. And that was the first time, like we said, Northwest, we finally get a Northwest zone. You can see it was a mix-up. All the top players that were playing on the other side all of a sudden now crossing paths. So it's really depending on what happens in this next zone and how it all plays out. It's going to determine whether or not certain players are going to clash.
Well, we're going to find out really soon, everyone. But we do have a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We have more Fortnite action coming out after this.